Types of landforms. Mountains. Mountains are a type of landform that rises above its surrounding land by at least 1,000 feet. They are formed when pieces of Earth's crust, tectonic plates, collide and push against each other. When a series of mountains are located close to each other in a line, a mountain range is formed. The tallest mountain on Earth is Mount Everest, which is part of the Himalayan mountain range. Plateaus. Plateaus are flat regions of high elevation, and they are often sharply above surrounding regions. They usually consist of large hills and mountains. They are formed through extreme upwellings of magma or erosion by glaciers. Over the years, the plateaus become more and more eroded, making their elevation a lot lower than initially, slowly reducing their key characteristics. Plains. Plains are broad, flat regions formed by the accumulation of sand over time. This can come from rivers, glaciers, or even wind. Plains don't always have to be on land. Plains are sometimes underwater. Some examples of plains are the North American Great Plains and the South American Pampas. Volcanoes are created when magma from the earth goes up to the surface and explodes. As the magma cools down, it forms volcanoes. Volcanoes can be found everywhere, even underwater. A volcano in Hawaii has been erupting since 1983. They can be found in Mount Fuji in Japan, Mount Vesuvius in Italy, and Mount Kilimanjaro in Tanzania. Canyons. Canyons are deep regions between cliffs resulting from water erosion caused by rivers. This is because rivers can cut through rocks, and over a long period of time, an extreme elevation is reached. The most famous canyon worldwide is the Grand Canyon, with an area of almost 5,000 kilometers squared and a maximum depth of 1,829 meters. Islands. Islands are land masses that are completely surrounded by water. They are formed when the tops of volcanoes appear above water. Islands can have different names depending on multiple factors. Small islands can be called islets or keys, and a group can be called an archipelago. Islands are found all over the world, with over 900,000 total official islands. Valleys. Valleys are low areas between mountains or hills, often with rivers or streams flowing through them. They are created when land is washed away by water, ice, and gravity. Some are shaped like the letter U, others are shaped like the letter V. Examples of famous valleys are the Waipio Valley in Hawaii and the Yosemite Valley in California. Deserts. Deserts are areas of land with very extreme temperatures. While they can be both hot or cold, one thing all deserts have in common is how little rain they get, less than 25 centimeters a year. Contrary to popular beliefs, deserts are home to many plants, animals, and people. They are found on every continent and are home to over 1 billion people. Glaciers. Glaciers are large masses of ice, rock, and snow that are usually at least a couple hundred years old. Most of the glaciers today are left over from the Ice Age. The Ice Age occurred around 10,000 years ago, and it was a time when the Earth was covered with a lot of ice. There are glaciers in Greenland, Antarctica, the Canadian Arctic, and tropical areas like Southern America. Caves. Caves are hollow spaces that form underground. They form when rainwater goes underground and turns into carbonic acid through a chemical reaction. There is a lot of limestone underground, and the carbonic acid eats away at the limestone until a large hole forms. It takes a few million years for the hole to grow into a cave. In general, caves appear in rocky mountain areas.